analysis. Emphasis on the anal because you're getting right up the poop chute when you invest in crypto. All right, so let's look at our gains, okay? Say we're looking for about a 6,000% right here. Okay, there's your gains. What we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna go ahead and erase them, okay? Let's talk about BTC, okay? Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin, but it should really stand for big trash coin because every time this coin takes a huge shit, we're shitting down with it, getting down. Now, yeah, here's what we want the market to do, but here's what the market is actually doing. It's going like this: shit it down, shit it down, shit it down, shit it down, shit it down. Crypto is a musical based on a loving family that now has to wear clothes from 30 years ago and drive around in a car with no roof on it. It would be called shitty, shitty, bang, 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 shitty, bang, shitty, bang, bang, shitty, shitty, bang, shitty, shitty. I think I give a out the other day. I got a job selling couches. I did one day and I quit.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Now, Bitcoin is still struggling up here around the $24,000, $24,500 level. If you've been over on Twitter or just listening to what some of the sentiment is around the space, yes, it is exciting times, but there are still a lot of people that are very, very bearish right now, saying that this is just a sucker's rally, a bear market rally. Bitcoin is still going to go way lower. We're going to go below the $17,000 level that we hit. We're going to 12, we're going to 10, we're going to 6. Is that a possibility? Well, I do want to talk about that today because they've been calling for this sort of potential mini double top, but we really should look at what is actually going on right now. Two things to pay very, very close attention to is this right here. We are potentially, and I mean, unless something catastrophic happens in the next few minutes, we are going to close a third weekly candle above the 200 weekly moving average. This is very, very indicative of a potential bottom formation, and what I've been talking about for a while is essentially getting back inside of this EMA ribbon, right? You want to get back inside of it to potentially start building up that momentum, and as you guys can see right here, as I am making this video right now, we have Bitcoin sitting at around 24,500 and change, and we only need Bitcoin to close this month above 24,488, but realistically, just being around this level is pretty good for Bitcoin. And if we can break through this, well, that would be quite massive. So we're going to talk about what's going on, what could happen on Monday. There is a little bit of a word of caution. And I also want to talk about one specific trader, okay? You guys may know him. He called the Bitcoin top in 2017. He shorted it all the way down to the bottom and he closed virtually at the bottom. And he is saying right now that it's time for the bull run to commence and begin again. So we're going to go over that. And of course, I have one more amazing indicator that has also flashed. Today's video is going to be a little bit short. We're going to get straight to the point. If you like videos like that, slap a like on. Thank you so much again for coming back to the channel. Get subscribed if you haven't. Now let's dive in and let's have a look. So we already know what's going on the macro, right? But having a look here on the lower time frames, this is the 3-day. And what you will notice is we are coming into this blue zone area. We're actually hanging out in it right now. Now, we were anticipating this to potentially be a little bit of a struggle for Bitcoin to break through, right? So come Monday, is there that possibility, that Bitcoin could come down here, maybe retest around 21,900? That would also be the bottom of this heart line, okay, on this major, major downtrend. Yes, that is a very strong possibility, but you have to understand that nothing goes straight up forever, nothing goes straight down forever, and unfortunately the trend has been down. That has been our friend, and it is still technically going down, right? However, there always has to be a reversal somewhere. At some point, the markets have to change, and I believe that that is a possibility. You could see right here, we've actually formed a very easy to see upward sloping channel. I mean, it's pretty much a perfect parallel channel over here on the CME futures, and CME futures closing around 24,240. Of course, we can come down, revisit that on Monday, but ultimately, you're still looking at a target of around $26,000, followed by the next target of $28,885. So even if we take a little bit of a dip, in the coming weeks, or even, just come Monday starting, I still think that would be good for Bitcoin. Now, let me just explain something to you really quick, though. So we were looking at this, and, as the charts evolve, as these new patterns form, you do have to kind of change your thinking a little bit, And some people will critique TA and be like, oh, well, a week ago you said this, and now you're saying this. It's like, well, a week ago, we didn't have what we have today, right? Just as an example. But anyway, what I pointed out to you guys was that we did have this ascending triangle, right? We know that that's a bullish pattern. Same thing right here, right? We started forming this ascending triangle, and we have broken out of it, right? So you could say that, okay, we have broken out of the triangle, and you could say that it's confirmed, right? Well, not exactly 100% because it never actually came down to retest this as, previous resistance flipping support. But I also just wanted to throw this out there, just playing devil's advocate. Don't get mad at me, guys, but I just wanted to point this out. And actually, let me change the color of this to something we could see. So if I make this like yellow right here, so we have this upwards trend, but this right here, you can kind of argue it might be, if excluding some of these wicks right here, it could be forming a bit of a wedge pattern, a rising wedge rather than an ascending triangle. So if that is the case and we can't see some massive bullish momentum from Bitcoin, continuing up to these levels, 25, 26, etc., then yes, this technically is a pattern which would have you break down, right? It's a bearish pattern, right? That's if it's the case. I mean, we have to see. I don't trust weekend price action. That's why I don't usually make too many videos on the weekends, because it really doesn't matter. The majority of the important moves happen during the week while stocks are trading, because we have seen the correlation between Bitcoin and stocks, which actually brings me to my next point. If we actually look at the rally that the stocks had, so we have the S&P. I like the S&P specifically. I find that it seems to move pretty close in tandem with Bitcoin, and actually Ethereum, surprisingly, very, very similar to how the S&P has been moving lately. But you could see we were trapped in this trend. As soon as we broke out, that was the confirmation. Okay, there we go. We came down, and we knew we were going to eventually continue to the upside. But what are we doing right here, guys? So look. The same way that we had this consolidation right around this area, if I come over here, you can see why that is, right? Because we had that support right here. We had that support right here, right? Well, we're now about to hit an even bigger resistance on the S&P. Okay, so look, you have this right here, support right here, flip resistance. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times, right? And we're about to approach that again. Now, right here at this level, could we do something, where we just consolidate and blast off higher? Sure, because then if that's the case, then the next level is, 4507 up here, which would be amazing. And Bitcoin would definitely have that breakout that we've been really, really looking for. But just be careful, be cautious of markets being overheated. And of course, just to point out the biggest issue right here on the S&P is, essentially, and, this really is subjective. It kind of depends on where you put your line, right? I mean, if you put them directly from candle to candle right here, then yeah, we have a lot more room to go. But, if you adjust it down here to the average of the trend, then we're pretty much sitting there right now. So my point being, wherever you put your lines on the chart here, you can obviously move them around depending, as long as you stick to that strategy. But ultimately, there's going to be some heavy resistance here. So that is something to pay attention to. But nevertheless, guys, there is a lot of opportunity to play with these markets. So if you guys do want to learn how to trade these types of charts, make sure that you guys watch my tutorial over talking about BitGet. I go over everything A to Z. And, obviously just get subscribed to the channel, and you'll see what I'm doing, and you can do it along if you want. Everything on this channel is not financial advice, but remember, guys, if you want that extra bonus $6,888, make sure that you use the link below in the description and check out the tutorial that is popping up above. And I just want to also give a shout out to Dave the Wave super quick. He was talking about this MACD crossover. He said plenty of upward pressure building at a level of resistance. Weekly MACD about to cross from an oversold position well below the 0 line. So the MACD is something I have not looked at in a long time on this channel, but I guess now we should be paying attention because it is starting to cross over. So what I was interested in checking out was, what if we applied the MACD to the overall crypto market cap right here? And interestingly enough, look at what's happening. We're actually having the crossover right now. In fact, actually, it technically already happened last week for the overall crypto market cap. So really, if you just analyze Bitcoin, or Ethereum or something like that, it looks a little, you get a little bit of positive bullish things, you get a little bit of negative bearish things. But if you actually look at the overall crypto cap of just all cryptos, you can actually see that, we had, look, right here, we had us crossing into the green, and look what we did from this point to the top, right? What was that? Almost 560% increase. This one, not as aggressive, right? But, it wasn't sitting as low. So that had a crossover. And where did we go from that point? We went up about 52% roughly. So we're having it right now. Does that mean that we're going to have that big move? Well, if that's the case, we could at least minimally go to the top of this descending, spider line, which would put a 40% overall crypto pump move, which could be very, 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 very massive for some of these speculative altcoins. And we have talked about, alt season and, the DXY, with Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin dominance. So it's kind of all just acting like a massive sort of calm before the storm, although it's not really calm. I mean, there is some excitement right now, especially over Ethereum. But get to Ethereum in a second. I want to talk about Mark Dow. So you guys may not remember. He accurately pretty much called the top, right? And if you were around in 2017, 2018, you may remember Mark Dow was a name that we had spoke a lot more frequently. He's been quite quiet for a while, but he's sort of come out, and he came out with this. This was 3 days ago. I meant to share this with you guys. He says, bear market is over. Doesn't matter if we correct, pull back, dip, whatever, it's over. And then this guy PMF says, Dow, I can't tell when you're trolling or being serious. I'm on the sidelines, but I'm thinking the worst is over. I appreciate your opinion. Do you think we are in a new bull? He says, yes, we're overbought short term though. So he is agreeing that, there is a potential that we do have a little bit of a pullback. I'm in that camp too. I mean, I think after that move from the bottom, a little bit of pullback, a little bit of whales taking profit, right? Because they sell into the strength. That makes sense. But ultimately, I do think that, not to say that Mark Dow is like the end all be all, right? Just because he made a really good call. But I mean, just to point this out, okay, look at this. He says, today I say goodbye to the Bitcoin short. Sad. Now look at the date on this, guys. December 18th of 2018. Do you know what happened on the week of December 18th, 2018? We got the green dot on Market Cipher. Can you see this right here? Green dot market cipher, December 18th was this week right here. That marked the absolute bottom of the entire market. The Bitcoin price never went any lower after that day. And that was the same week that Mark Dow closed. He's a very well-known trader. He doesn't, from what I can tell, he doesn't really give trading advice. He just kind of posts like elusive things on Twitter. But I mean, just saying. And, also just getting back to Market Cipher also has accurately, with the exception of this little first fluke right here. But remember, I told you, you need all four of the indicators to line up. This one, it didn't. It was a misfire. But in all the other situations, we had perfect, all four right here. That marked the bottom. All four right here. That marked the bottom. And we just had all four again, guys. We have the green dot. We have, money in the red moving up. RSI, super oversold. And, we have the VWAP moving upwards. So just saying, guys, that's why I am in the camp that the bottom is in. And I did just want to share that with you with what Mark Dow essentially was talking about. And remember, if you guys do want to get Market Cipher, it is not free, unfortunately. It's like one of the only ones that really isn't free, but it's really cool. It has 4 different types of things you can use. It's A, B, SR, and the DBSI. So I do have a link below in the description if you want to check that out. And another thing I wanted to talk about super quick before we go, I am trying to keep this video a little quicker because not really too much to talk about, mostly just technical stuff. But you can see right here, we are being held down by this 50 on the DXY. And I told you guys that, it was looking like first what happened, we lost this parabolic trend, right? We lost that first. And then what happened after that, we actually bounced off the 50, then lost it. And now it looks like it's starting to act as resistance. And we're being held down by this downward sloping resistance. So I do believe that this could actually be the end for the dollar rally. And as I showed you guys, Bitcoin dominance is breaking down. Why is it breaking down? Because Ethereum merge is happening and a lot of people are hopping into Ethereum. It is a bit of a crowded trade right now, but Vitalik Buterin came out and he says that it is not priced in because he thinks that people are underestimating even what's going to be able to happen after the merger. He's pretty excited about all that stuff. But having a look right here, if you were to look at this, we are approaching pretty critical resistance. The next level for Ethereum is around 2180. So that's right here. And then the level after that would be 2474. If we do have a breakdown, then we'll probably retest around 1884, and the lower would be 1712. If we lose 1712, then the rally's probably over for Ethereum. But just keep in mind that at some point, this green line represents the merger right here. At some point, no matter what we do, if we come back up here, test around, we're going to hit this. So that's the potential sell the news day. I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen on that day, honestly. I'm holding Ethereum for the long term anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Personally, I think it's going to continue higher, at least into the merge. So even if we have that pullback, I think, not financial advice, but if you're in an Ethereum long, you could take profits or, close them, go back in. But ultimately, I think we're going to come up here. Now, this is where we're going to hit that resistance. So, if we hit this line before the merger, you might see a heavy sell-off, but if we get through that, then it's going to be probably explosive actually for Ethereum. And remember, guys, I told you this was the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, and right here when we were having this consolidation, this is a long-term trend. This has been going on for many years. We finally broke through. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests, and boom. And that was when we knew that, all right, longing Ethereum, like confirmed at this point against Bitcoin specifically, was probably going to be the way to go, right? It's probably going to outpace it. So that's it for me, guys. Once again, if you want to learn how to trade, make sure you check out the tutorial popping up above. And that is it for me. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you Monday. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting day. As I said, going back to stocks are pretty much, look at this. I mean, you have these two downwards sloping resistances, and you have this major support flip resistance. Lots of resistance. That's 1, 2, 3, three potential levels that the S&P has to get through. Might be a little bit of a shaky week, but it's all right. Even if next week is a little bit of a down week, not a big deal. Or hey, we could just blast through to the moon. Anything is possible. I've seen crazy things in markets, but realistically, after a move like that, you generally have a little bit of a cool off period, which I'm okay with because I get like reverse FOMO where when Bitcoin is like just going really crazy, really high, really fast, I get sad because I like to try to accumulate Bitcoin at these cheaper levels. So it's like bittersweet. I don't want to see it go. I don't want to see Bitcoin, go up, to 100K overnight, because then I won't be able to, get more Bitcoin. But then at the same time, you kind of do want Bitcoin to pump. So it's like this weird, like back and forth thing. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos for the most part every single day. Get subscribed if you have not. And that is it for me. Take care. I love you guys. You're awesome. Be safe out there, and make sure that you watch this video popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.